Good evening, Legal Shield family. I'm sure many of you remember me from my first video, the 7-minute video. It was pretty powerful, I know. I'd helped a lot of you guys out. I've recently updated that. Some of the associates on my team were giving me a hard time, and they're telling me, hey, Shawn, you got to listen to Bill Geither's DGS system. It's pretty good. If you're going after groups, you've got to just at least take a listen to it. And I was hesitant at first. I didn't want to listen. I've been having great success going door to door at businesses, getting in front of the decision maker. And it was really surprising to me when I started listening to the DGS system that Bill has set up. I was saying the exact same thing verbatim. I mean, not a word deviated to the decision maker, face to face. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how is it that I knew to do that before listening to the system? I don't know. For some reason, I just figured it out. But anyways, I'm going to go into an employee benefit presentation, and this is something that I put together. This is a practice, of course. This is like the first, second, or third time I've done it, so I'm not 100% at it. I still use a script. Using a script in front of a group is okay. If you're doing small groups, apparently, if you get into the bigger groups, you definitely want to do away with the script. It looks really unprofessional, some people say. I personally don't have my own opinion on it. But anyways, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up where the decision maker has already introduced me and I'm already up in front of everybody. And then let's say his name is Ron Johnson. So thank you, Mr. Johnson, for having me here today. I really appreciate your time. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shawn Filner. I'm your new Legal Shield and ID Shield benefit rep. The reason I'm with Legal Shield, I want to share a couple personal stories with you. I personally became an associate because I have a background in construction, and I just couldn't see myself doing that for the next 20 years. I was actually an electrician working out at Intel. Woke up one morning and just decided at that point, man, I don't want to do this anymore. It was just driving me nuts. So I went into work with a cloud above my head, told my boss, and he said, Shawn, you're my best guy. I'm paying you over $50 an hour, and I was just not having any of it. I decided, I got to do something different with my life. Went back to the union hall. The lady said good luck to me, and sat at home and thought about it for 3 days and wondered why nobody ever advertises for Legal Shield. You see, or I've been using the service for like 3.5 years, but I had never figured out how people found out about it. Because my girlfriend added me to her plan, and I had no clue how people found out about it. So I want to share the story with you about how I used my membership for the first time. So what ended up happening is I was going through Linton, and there's a 35-mile-per-hour speed limit. I'm sure many of you know about that. Since you live out here in beautiful St. Helens, Oregon. So we're going through Linton, and I wasn't paying attention, honestly. I went through at 55, because it goes from 55 to 35. Got pulled over. Officer walked up to my car, had the window down, and he said, license and registration. That's right. You guys have been here before. That's crazy. I can't believe how many of you have got traffic tickets like that. We're going to change that here today, though, here in a little bit. So anyways, he gave me a ticket, of course, for 20 over, and in Oregon, that is reckless endangerment. That's driving. 15 over is reckless driving, and then I think 20 over, 25. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but anyways, the ticket was for $340. I went home. I was upset. My significant other, Willow, said, Shawn, why don't you just call Legal Shield? I was like, hey, that's a great idea. Ended up calling. They said fax or email us the ticket. Got the ticket faxed in. Lawyer calls me, says, hey, Shawn, I got your ticket. I'm going to go ahead and go into court for you and defend you on this. You don't have to worry about showing up. And this is, of course, my first time I've used the membership, so I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't think about the ticket after I got it, and I ended up just forgetting about it. I mean, went back to work. I didn't think about it. One day at work, I went out and checked my phone. As a construction worker, I never had my phone on me, so at breaks, I would look at my phone. I had like 4 or 5 voicemails, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? They're all from an attorney, but they wouldn't tell me what it was in regards to. So I thought I was getting sued. I know. It's pretty funny, isn't it? I thought I was getting sued for a plan that I paid for. Anyway, I called him back. And he said, hey, Shawn, you remember that speeding ticket you got in Linton? I said, yeah. And he says, well, I got bad news and I got good news. Bad news is you still got to pay a fine. Good news is the fine is $2, and I got the ticket reduced to picnicking in a non-picnicking area in Oregon. And I guess that's the lowest citation you can get. I don't know law, so I don't know much about it. But at this point, I was floored. I was like, how in the heck did he do that? And if he could do that, what else could he do? What else could my law firm do for me? I started using it for everything. I got my will done. I started using it for small things like document review, large things like real estate document review. It's probably saved me over, $10,000 in 3 years, easily. The other story I want to share with you is I have an associate, a co-associate. His name is Kenny. He's probably watching this video right now, which is pretty great. But anyways, this associate, Kenny, the reason he became an associate, from what I understand, is that he had his identity stolen and somebody went in and got cancer treatment using his medical identity. $143,000 in his name. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think I'd want to pay back $143,000, and I wouldn't know how to get that off my record without doing a lot of research and wasting a lot of my time. So he had the licensed private investigator from ID Shield, go ahead and get into his information and restore it. It took about 4 weeks, if I remember correctly, and they ended up restoring his identity to pre-loss condition, got that $143,000 error removed, and then they also restored his medical information, which, if you think about it, if Kenny would have had some sort of a problem where he went into the emergency room and had some issues where he would have needed like a blood transfusion or something, the blood types on the medical records changed. So it could have been deadly, and that's some serious problems. I know what you're thinking. My bank says I have identity theft protection, but in a medical case or a Social Security case or a DMV case, they're not going to help you at all. That's just there to protect the assets and the money that they have. So anyway, those are two personal stories. I'm going to get into the benefits here of Legal Shield. I'm going to go through this pretty quick. I got it written down, obviously. I typed it up. It's something that I came up with. Myself and another associate came up with. It's pretty powerful. The reason I'm here today is because your company saw the value themselves when we sat down together and began discussing Legal Shield and Identity Shield to the staff. What these two plans provide is peace of mind, expert advice on everything from day-to-day life events to the very traumatic things that hit us, as well as saving us money. You don't have to ever be taken advantage of again not knowing your rights. The Identity Shield is the greatest defense against identity theft that exists in America today. There are 30 new victims a minute, so if you are a victim, we will fix it, doing whatever it takes for as long as it takes. We also include a $5 million guarantee to back up our identity restoration services. You can consult with our identity theft fraud experts anytime you need to. In an emergency, we can provide you 24-hour access to those experts as well. Once you're online with us, you will get a credit score which we'll update every 3 months for you. Nearly always, the first thing victims of identity theft need is an attorney. The legal plan will enable you or your family to talk to an attorney on an unlimited number of matters, have a letter written or a phone call made on your behalf, have documents reviewed, and in an emergency, simply call our emergency number and we will answer in 6 seconds. We handle traffic tickets, landlord issues, financial problems, debt collection, family issues, anything you can think of. You can see other areas of coverage on the informational sheet I have included on the clipboards. Wouldn't you agree? We all need a will, but at about $1,000 a piece, most people can't afford it. As a Legal Shield member, you can get a will, living will, and healthcare power of attorney included in your membership at no extra cost immediately when you join. We also include 60 hours of prepaid trial time as soon as you enroll as a member with Legal Shield. Every year you maintain your membership with us, your trial time will increase by 60 hours up to a grand total of 300 prepaid trial time hours. That's like having a bank account with over $90,000 in it should you ever be sued civilly in a court of law. You'll have your own membership card and access to us on the Legal Shield and ID Shield apps. As soon as your membership cards arrive, you can download the apps and log on. You can give the apps to your teenagers too if you think that might help. To top it off, our legal plan also comes with a brand new membership perks program that currently has over 480 vendors on it. I'm sure all of you have at least one or two services that you could start saving money on immediately as Legal Shield members. not to mention huge discounts on hotels, rental cars, real estate transactions, as well as many other goods and services included in that program. Ladies and gentlemen, Legal Shield is passionate about helping you through every situation within your lives by putting 2 huge walls of protection around you and your loved ones. I hope you can see why 30,000 people a month are enrolling in this helpful program. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the enrollment application. So what we're doing today, and this is kind of a special thing now, I wasn't going to share this with you guys right away, but Mr. Johnson has decided that he is going to foot the bill for the legal side of our services. Isn't that amazing? That's great, isn't it? Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I'm sure your employees very much appreciate that. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fill out this application. Everybody gets the legal plan. Isn't that great? So let's get that filled out. So what we're going to do here is we're going to fill out all of the information. We've got a personal information box. We basically start with the date and the time of day. We'll get that put in there first. I want everybody to put a check mark next to the legal plan box because that's what we're doing today. If any of you want any of the other supplements, what will happen is I will get the group opened and I'll come back within 48 hours and get all of the other supplements that you want, that you actually end up paying for the supplements, but the owner of the company, the CEO, Mr. Johnson, he's going to pay for the legal part of your plan. I will come back and do a separate enrollment for that. So go ahead and do the legal plan, name, date of birth, your name, your significant other's name. If you have any children, you can put those here in the dependent information. You don't have to fill out any of the payment information, obviously, because he's taking care of that. But what I do need from you is a signature at the bottom of the application, and then he will sign for the actual payment part of the signature. I'm going to let you guys know what you're going to walk away with today. I personally made these myself. I feel it's very important for people to have access to their legal rights because if you don't know your rights, you basically don't have any. So what I've done is I prepared an application packet or temporary membership packet for you here today. I include a lot of things in my packets. Other associates include a little bit different items in their packets. I include this. You get my personal business card. It's got my phone number on it. You can call me at any time. And I mean that. Call me at any time. If I don't answer, I'm probably asleep or I'm in a presentation, but I will get back to you. I include a how to use our services card right here. I've got an ID Shield brochure in here. You can take a look at that. I've got a legal plan flat sheet. And then I have a home business flat sheet included in here. So there's a pretty important information to have in your packet. The main part of the packet here is I've got 2 will questionnaires for you and your significant other. I've also went ahead and I've made a address label for your provider law firm. Inside that, I've included 2 Legal Shield stickers. So these are for your vehicle. You can stick them on the windows and whatnot. Law officers are starting to recognize that there might be something to this. Actually, some states have law officers on a legal plan, so they'll understand what that is. My members report to me every so often that they get a little bit of different treatment from the police officers once they see that sticker. So that's pretty powerful. So that's the temporary membership kit. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it from me. I want to thank you today for listening to me. And if you have any questions, I will go around right now and answer them individually. And I hope you see the value in our services. And I look forward to being your rep for the rest of your lives. Thank you. Take care.